one of the things that I did in coaching as I was taking a break from traditional therapy was an exercise to start separating myself from the voices in my head. Like many people, I had a committee of critical voices in my head that were dictating how I lived my life and really creating this sort of culture of shame in my life, I guess. So I did an exercise with my life coach that personified the voices and sort of externalized them a little so that I could start identifying what was really going on in my head, and I guess regain some control over my brain's script and start writing a new narrative for myself, which has made me so much happier. It's one of the dozens of things that has really helped change my life in a super tangible way. So these are my gremlins, and this is Miss Bitch, Miss Pussy Perfection Pants. She's like 22 and she's so awesome, and she's everything that I'm not, with her curly hair and her slim little situation here and all of that. And she is super critical of me. She thinks that I suck and I'm boring and like, what is wrong with you? You've wasted your life. She's where some of my body issues came from. Yeah, that's why she's called Miss Bitch, because she's really a jerk and she doesn't have anything nice to say at all. All right, and so then we have, from the land of perpetual disappointment, we have Woe Is She, and she's just this pitiful little 8-year-old girl, and she cries all the time. Look at her little face. She's crying just big giant alligator tears, and she thinks that the world is horrible and life is hard and no one loves her. There's suffering in the world. She was already aware of mortality. Why do people have to die? People are mean. It's horrible, horrible. But she loved to wear little peace sign shirts. And apparently I'm not very good at drawing arms and hands because none of these characters have them. And so this character alternates at times with the congratulator. Yeah, here's a little bit of her process. She is the victim survivor. She has survived all of these things about how horrible life is. And so she rationalizes this rebel attitude in me that's just like, party, 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 just be happy. You have all these reasons to party, 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 and forget and do. So there you go. And then we have complaining, commanding commander, and she's a lot like Miss Bitch, but she is a lot more rigid and militant in every way. So I think that she started along pretty early in my life. I was probably 11 or 12 when I started exhibiting some characteristics that were like obsessive compulsive disorder, but I never actually had obsessive compulsive disorder. I just had some tendencies that were, super rigid, and lots of rules and symmetry and physical space and lots of cleanliness and cleaning and organizing, and everything had to be perfect all of the time. And so this is her: be more organized, do something, exercise, diet. This is where more of my body things came from, like you should dress better, you should do everything that you're not doing. And then we have a character that is not so much vocal, as it's not a voice in my head, but it is the pain in my body that speaks to me every day. It's been around since as long as I can remember. It's in my stomach, in my back, in my guts, in my head, my jaws. I have like just pain everywhere, my shoulders, my upper back, my neck, my lower back, my hips. I have problems with my IT band. There's just lots of pain everywhere in my body. I've been working with a doctor to understand it better, but at this point when I did this exercise, this was the closest I had ever come to actually explaining how my pain worked in my body. And in the last few years I've learned a lot about it, and I'm actually it's serving as a signal for when I'm becoming really uncomfortable, and it comes up a lot when I feel like there's things I can't change. So it's really interesting information now that I've learned a little bit more about what all this is about, because it is a very deeply held protection mechanism, coping mechanism, whatever you want to call it. So here we go. There they are, these little cartoon characters that no longer run my head. They used to for a really long time. They don't anymore. And this is something that anybody could really do. You could do this exercise on your own. Just draw out the voices in your head. You may not really hear them or know what they are right now, but as you're going through your day, just start listening for those critical voices. A lot of times they're critical, frequently they're negative. And the thing is that when you first started making these assumptions about the world, about how horrible it is, and about how horrible you are. I know a lot of us carry these things around with us. You started these things when you were really young and you really didn't understand the world, the things that you were learning. It's easy to come to these very simplistic conclusions that you're horrible and the world is horrible, and that's why horrible things happen. And once we start hearing those voices and identifying them, we can start rewriting that script and recognizing the beauty in the world. And that sounds kind of hokey, hippy dippy, new agey, whatever some people would say, bullshit. But my opinion is that we really do see the world. The world is how we see it, and for a long time I saw it as horrible, as per these voices. And since I've learned to identify these voices and start shifting my focus to things that are a little bit more positive, positive thinking doesn't cure everything, but it can really improve things greatly, especially for those that are struggling really hard in these sort of constraints of the mind, I suppose. All right, 7 minutes, damn it. All right. Bye, everybody. I hope that you'll do this exercise and maybe leave me some comments. I don't know, I think that would be awesome. Show me yours. I've shown you mine. This is pretty vulnerable shit, so let's see what you got.